Hello, my name's Heinrich, and I'm the world number one Warno player. I know it says 11 here, but that's just because I'm world number one twice. And this is the guide for 39Y Soviet Division. Just a quick bit of housekeeping before we start. You can vote on the next guide. As you can see, 39Y finished top with 0 votes. So here we are doing 39Y. And yeah, there's lots more guides, right? They'll be linked in the description. These pro level guides take a very long time. The members do get it early, but you guys really seem to like them, so I'll keep doing it. But yeah, if you do like it, do let me know, otherwise I'm going to stop doing it. So this is 39Y, and just like the other pro level guides, we're going to be going through it tab by tab. There'll be an exhaustive deck review, because that's a big part of playing these divisions, and that will be followed by a series of worked examples. So I've played a lot of games, I've got them up on my notepad document there, and we'll just be going through them all one at a time, and each example will have, the opening, what to do in various situations, various matchups. This is basically the best way to do it that I can think of. It does make the videos very long, but the timestamps are in the description. You can skip around if you want. But the thing is, if you really want to become good with this division, there is no substitute for a video like this one. Which is going to tell you how to build it and then show you how to play it with lots of examples, because there are 53 times 53 matchups in the game, which is a large number. So this is like 2,500 and something. 53 times 53 is 2,809. So 39Y, how does it play? This division at the moment is actually very strong, and it comes down to these Su-24M bombers. They got buffed. The EW plane we'll get to, alright? They got buffed, and the price didn't go up. Like, these are absurd for the price. They are stupid for the price. They should go up at least 20 points each. I don't understand why the cluster one is 215 at all. It's honestly nonsensical. They should go up at least 20 points each. Anyway, because the bombs fall faster, they got 30% ECM, so these are really good. And in general, these Soviet heavy divs, they're all quite similar. This division isn't as good as 79Y, for example, and you'll see that in one of the examples, one of the showcases. But the general idea is the same. So you don't get any airborne forward deployment, so you open with the zany opener, which you can do on most of these Soviet heavy divs, which is one MiG-23, one Su-25, and one Recon Helo. Or you can just open slow, get the Razvedka Saperi to positions, get the Mot Razvedka with the BMP-1Ps to positions, and then spam out BMP-1PGs mainly, right? Once you've got your picket line set up with some Metis, a Conkers, a Plamia, 30mm. The tanks are a very small part of it. You don't really need more than one or two. Generally, you accomplish most of your goals with BMP-1Ps, and if you get to a nut you can't crack, that's when you start bringing the planes out. So that's the general strategy. The EW plane you can swap out for 2 more T-80BVs, okay? You can do that, but honestly, it's not that bad. So go through it tab by tab. First things first, I like these 40-point CVs, right? For 2 CVs, you just buy 2 of these at the start every time. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 CVs, which is all good. T80 BVs came down in price last patch, which was a huge mistake. I was against it, but I got, outcompeted. So now you can just buy 1 a minute every minute, and so there's not much reason to bring a T80B by default. The idea behind the BV is that so they can both survive a 30 AP missile from the front. The BV can survive 2 TOW2s from the front, whereas the B can only survive 1. A TOW2A will 2-shot it, but a TOW2 regular won't, and that's because that ERA is giving it 1 extra HP. And it can survive a Conker's side hit, because this has 6 armor, so it'll die to it. Whereas this has 7 plus ERA, which is like 8 effective armor, so this will die in 1 shot to a Lore 80 on the side. Whereas this will survive a Lore 80 and survive an Apelas with 1 more AP because of the ERA. Thinking about like Jaguar 1s and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure it would still die to a side shot from something like that. So tab by tab, right? 7 CVs and then 2 cards of supply you can get away with if you just always, as soon as it comes in, switch off the fuel. As soon as it comes in, switch off the fuel. Infantry, so you only get 2 cards of BMP2s, which used to be a negative, but since BMP2s, the price went up so much, the BMP1 PG is a lot more efficient now. This thing is crazy good against infantry. It is really good for 40 points. I used to be strongly against it because I'd rather have the smoke, but I was wrong. Because if you lose a 40-point unit because you couldn't smoke it, it really doesn't matter. And what you get in exchange is a grenade launcher that makes it kill loads of infantry, and it's still got the ATGMs for the tanks. The idea is when you come up against an enemy tank, you should bring up your T80 BV, and you should always have a couple BMP1 PGs or even BMP2s with your T80 BV, just slinging the ATGMs downrange. So we get 2 cards of these at 1 vet because this I want 12 of. And then these are at 2 vet because honestly, many times I only buy a couple of them. Metis, very important, and the BTR 60PB is also important. Metis are really good. Basically, they used to have 500 meters more range, but they were also more expensive. And people still think back to that time and they're like, Metis bad. It really isn't. Can one-shot a 3-armor vehicle and like a BMP1, right? And it just gives your infantry that ability to reach out and punch enemy vehicles. Saperi and the BTR 60PB, super good. It's like a BTR ATA, which I've got a guide specifically on BTR ATAs. Oh, sorry, BTR 80s. The A has an autocannon, that's not in the game. But it's not got smoke, and it is a little slower, and it's got a little less HP, but the anti-infantry capacity of these is crazy, and they can kill helicopters if the helicopter flies over them. Very useful piece of kit. So you do want the Metis with the BTR 60PB, and the Saperi RPO, very good piece of kit. I used to be very Saperi regular pilled, but these guys have 8 strength, unlike Engineer's Flash, which only have 5, right? These guys have 8. You bring it at 1 vet, and you don't use them alone. You make sure there's always a motor strokey with them. And yeah, the BTR 60PB is super useful. The Conkers comes in a UAS. I know, BTR 60PB, but generally you just want this to shoot vehicles, right? You're getting this to shoot vehicles, and this isn't that useful in that case, and you've already got plenty of BTR 60PBs. And the 30mm is great news. Like, you can get 2 of these for the price of 1 of these, but not really, because you still have to buy the 20-point transport. But yes, you get twice as many of them. They can cover more ground. But you can cover plenty of ground anyway with these 80-point combinations of a nice rocket launcher, an okay infantry, nothing to write home about, but they've got a nice rocket launcher, and this BMP-1 PG, which, you know, you just put that in a field somewhere, right? And a vehicle can't get to it because you ATGM it, and an infantry can't get to it because you grenade launcher it, and you also have 2 more guns which occasionally do something. They're like a bonus, basically. Even if these weren't here, it would still be a good piece of kit for 40 points. And yeah, this is really nice. On maps like Urban Frontlines, you see the advantage. I believe it's better than the PKM team. So like, if you can't bring grenade launchers, bring the PKM teams. And if you can't bring the PKM teams, then you're playing Canada, right? Because literally every div gets these, so almost every div. Arty, so we've got 2 Acacias at 1 vet. I used to try like running grads and stuff, but basically the main issue, the main thing you're facing these days, like the meta, is to spam out MMG teams and infantry ATGMs and cheap ATGMs, things like this, right? And back them up with 1 or 2 tanks, right? Or, you know, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 tanks, but you get the point. You're going to be facing this a lot more than you're going to be facing one of these, and the grad is just, I want to like it, but it's just so much better to get 2 Acacias at 1 vet, and that means that they can shoot a lot quicker. You open with 2 of these. One should then go to sort of the middle contesting zone, and the other one should go sit next to your arty when you buy it, so this should be at 2 vet. Mortars for smoke, super useful. Super, super, super useful. I've noticed that, you know, because a lot of people watch my videos, and thank you for watching my videos, lots and lots and lots of people bring mortars, but most of them just never use them. So yeah, you know, you hate to see it. Anyway, we'll go to the tank tab, but before we do, it's time for me to thank the generous channel joiners, generously joining the channel. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get the members exclusive videos. One join at the lowest levels worth 2,000 views in ad revenue equivalents, and they're the guys making videos like this possible, because I have to play like 10 games of the Division, and then I have to, record this video, which will probably be about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So it takes a lot of time, and the ad revenue is going to be like £3. So that's where the channel joiners come in. They are making this possible. They are the reason this exists, and they get it ahead of time as a result of that. They also get members exclusive videos at a rate of one a week. So the tanks, right? So you can get rid of the EW plane and bring 2 more TATBVs. I think that's very reasonable to do, okay? I just have the EW plane in because I think it's a really funny meme. You fly it in front of the Su-24s, and you'll see that in the examples. It does really well. I learnt this from a... where is he? Oh, is he... This guy. This guy is the guy I learnt this from. And he's in one of the examples. He plays a lot of 39Y, and yeah, he does that, and it just completely bamboozled me, and it messed me up. So you don't get seed as this div. Okay, we'll get to the... where am I? We'll get to the air tab. So sort of spoke about this at the start, right? The TATB, I don't really see the point of it anymore, because the whole point was that this is 265, so you can't always buy it 1 a minute. And this, I mean, the main advantage, you're paying 15 points to not get side shot by Conkers, which, you can say it's worth it or you can say it's not worth it. I mean, it's entirely up to you. I'm willing to pay that price. Maybe you're not, in which case just bring these and get side shot by Conkers when you're not looking. 20 AP is incredibly common because it's the Conker, and like almost every pack div in the game gets a Conkers, and loads of them get the BMP2, which has a Conkers on it, and they get the BRDM2 Conkers, which has a Conkers on it, and they get the Helos, which are all 20 AP, all the packed ones, because the Kokon and the Phalanger are 20 AP. Phalanger used to be less, but as did the Kokon, but they buffed it up because packed isn't allowed to have bad things, and everything must be the same. Like this division. So yeah, CV tank, 2 of these and 1 of these, and yes, you can swap this out to get 2 more. But you'll notice that I just don't need it. Recon, so Recon Helo, so you can open with this, but you only get 1, and this has the same HP and has better optics, and you get 3 of them, and it's only 50 points. Like, this is ridiculous. You can get this if you want, because it's got 40% ECM, but it's almost twice the price. And it is nice having the 40% ECM. The SIGINT is just completely useless, don't worry about that. The jammer can come in handy, it just means enemy artillery won't get corrected shot beneath this. But yeah, I like having the... Sorry, I keep hiccuping. I like having the 3 availability 50-point exceptional optics, because this is very good optics, it's not even exceptional, so this is great. This is a must bring as well. This goes with your tanks to give your tanks exceptional optics. 3 armor means it can usually survive an enemy tank shot. ATGMs tend to kill it in 1 hit, but you've got smoke, so the ATGM shouldn't hit you. Motorized Razvedka, so the reason we bring this at no vet is because we just want it for the Razvedka BMP-1P, right? These guys don't come with it, so we do get the Motorized Razvedka. I just use them for recon, and this thing's super useful. Like, it should not be 40 points. This is absurd. Basically, they reduced the price of this one and the East German one, which doesn't get smoke at the same time. So this is just 40 points with smoke, whereas the other one is 40 points without smoke. And I'm pretty sure that was a mistake or an oversight or something. But this is absurd for 40 points. It is ridiculous. It can fire that unspeakable one, and it's got mediocre stealth. And if a tank does see it and shoots it, it's got 3 armor, so it usually survives a hit. At max ranges. Very, very good piece of kit. And these guys are coming in the BTR 60PB. These are your opener unit, because you don't have airborne forward deployment. So these come in the BTR 60PB, so you need them at 1 vet, and these are your satchels, which is another reason why you bring the RPO here, because you don't need satchels here, because you got them here. So yeah, really nice piece of kit. AA Cubs used to be 3 per card, and they've made them 4, and I think this is one of the strongest AA pieces in the game ever since. If not the strongest AA card in the game, because it's 4 per card, it's absurd. These Strela ones, you don't have to bring this. You can swap it out for Osas at 2 vet and then just open with 1 or 2 of these. That's a very popular opener and it does work. The reason I bring this is because I like using the BRDM2 Conkers to go around the side and annoy people because I've been playing too much 4th Mort Schutzen. And the BRDM2 Strela can keep up and fire its Strelas at people. But, you know, if you actually want it for frontline work, then this is better at 1 vet because it goes further. It's better against healers and stuff, like, because you do struggle against Apaches, but that's what this is for. I just chuck this at an Apache, right? And Iglo's at 1 vet. But yeah, you can swap this out for this, which is very good against Apaches, or this, which is better against Apaches, and, you know, something like this. But I find I don't really need it. Maybe this is more of a sort of wishful thinking. And that's another reason why I don't bring the Sturm over the Conkers. This can go around the side and be a total pain in the neck. The Sturm, yes, it does 20 pen, it goes super far, and it's fast. So it is pretty decent at sniping units, like if somebody advances towards you with 1 unit, probably going to get them. But if it misses, it has to reload for 10 seconds. If this misses, it can fire 5 before it reloads for 15 seconds. And it can go around the sides because it's a lot cheaper. And it's less expensive. The advantage of the Sturm is that it only comes on this division and 9th East German. But it just says this one because the other one is an East German one. So I prefer this. You can bring this if you want. If you're planning on playing, like, not doing any flanking maneuvers whatsoever, then yes, you can bring this, and you can bring these or this at 2 vet, right? As opposed to this is for flanking, and this is for flanking. Helis, so I prefer these for 5 points more. It's got the longer range rockets, which it fires super quickly. This has a higher total DPS with 40 rockets. This fires all its rockets almost immediately, which means you're revealed to the target for less time. And I don't really need 8 Kokons, right? You can pay 15 points more for 10% ECM and a gun that isn't on a turret, so it's actually worse. Or you can pay... like, I don't understand why this is 210 points. It's because it's got 16 Kokons, but unless you're playing against a literal vegetable, they're going to see it, and then they're not just going to drive 16 units into it, so... But in my 4th UK guide, which is on the channel, my opponent used this and he sniped a bunch of my heavy tanks. And the 16 Kokons came in handy there because I did have 16 tanks. And I did kind of just drive into him. So, swings and roundabouts. This is a 1 point slot, which is why it's got something in it. And I just bring these because they're 2 per card. And the idea is you bring this out first when you need a helo. Because it's got the same HP, right? It's more susceptible to playing cannons, but the Iglas and stuff will still 2-shot both of these. But the idea is you bring this out first because it's 45 points less, and it doesn't have the ATGMs on it. And you bring this out first. The enemy, just as night follows day, he's like, I see a helo, and he just chucks a jet at it, and then you kill his jet with 10 Gorillion Cubs, and so on. And then you bring these out later, or if you really need to kill an armoured target, but that's what this is for. So, air tab, you get the Su-27S, one of the best fighters in the game, 30% ECM and so on, the best... Well, I suppose the MiG-31 gets longer range missiles, but I would call those very long range missiles. Of the long range missiles, you get the best. Of the short range missiles, you get the best, and your 30% ECM. This thing is what you chuck at a helo, because you don't really want to chuck this at a helo, it costs a minute's income. But yeah, you can chuck this thing instead. This is just absurd. This needs to be at least 20 points more, as does this one. It's ridiculous. It is honestly stupid. You can evac it as soon as the bombs drop, and it just doesn't... Like, enemy AA can barely shoot it. It is so daft. So stupid. I really should try and do something about this rather than just complaining. But, well, I'm not allowed to talk about it. So basically, I need to convince people I'm right before it's going to happen. So this thing, you can swap it out for this. In some of the examples, you'll see this instead of this, right? But the rocket one's 3 per card, which is what makes it great. But this will, you know, in the opener, this will kill heavy tanks and stuff. It's just if you need to kill a heavy tank, that's what this is for. And then the EW plane, which, yes, by all means, get rid of and replace with 2 more T80 BVs. I just think it's really funny. It goes out in front of these, and these literally just become invincible if you're playing well. So that's it for the deck review, and now we'll go through a series of examples. Right, so here's the first example, and I'm against the Russian guy who plays 39Y a lot. Now, the reason I wanted to include this example is because I only had 1 card of fighters in this, and now I will prove to you why that's a bad idea. So, this costs more than his thing, and we both evac each other. I've gone SU-25 AT, he's gone SU-25 Rocket, but he sent his out earlier. Like I said, I basically copied the strat of him. He's doing the same thing, but he brings the ECM one, which I don't think is a good idea. And this doesn't have the side missiles, so I should have a big advantage here. But I missed twice because I'm bad at the game, and he crits me there as well, which stops me, makes me slower. If I'd just hit once here, I would have killed him, but I'm so bad at the game, right? And my 2 SU-27s traded equally against a MiG-23 and an SU-27, so I'm clearly a very bad player. We'll try and remove the salt from the rest of the episode now that we've got it out of the way. But yes, he can buy more fighters and I can't. So this... yeah, I mean, that's all it comes down to. So I lost that opening engagement, whereas I could have just bought another cheap fighter there and not lost this SU-25 AT, maybe. Because both my SU-27s are out of commission, right? And then he kills me again, and he just basically has fighter superiority all game. This was one of the first game, if not the first game I played as 39Y in this kind of learning experience thing. So, yeah, so... you can see the issues, right? So this thing, I mean, that's just really, really unlucky again, but skill issue, skill issue, skill issue. Say it enough times, it makes it true. You can see he brings the OSA and serve the BRDM2 Strela. Like I said, it is possible. And yeah, just once again, he gets out with 1 HP. I'm just so bad at the game. The HE bomber missed because he was moving. And I basically just lost because of how bad I am. So clearly a terrible player. But yeah, he's got like 300 games this season on 39Y, so that makes your RNG better. I'm really trying not to be salty. There was a point to this example. Yes, the 2 cards of fighters, because at this point I basically just lost. And it's just because I didn't have 2 cards of fighters. So that was the purpose of this example, to show you what happens if you don't bring 2 cards of fighters. So don't get rid of that. Here you go, the double cluster thing. I mean, he sort of fucked that up, but you get the idea. And, yeah. It's Jova, right? It's already Jova. I mean, we're going to keep watching it because it's got some time left. But should we? Because this is really annoying me, and I have to make the rest of the video, and it's demotivating me. Oh yeah, this is why. So, because we came over to Fedor, but I couldn't protect it with fighters, and he just always had more fighters because he had 2 cards of fighters. So make sure you bring your 2 cards of fighters, right? So he gets me again there, even though he flew over all my Cubs and stuff. But, you know, what can I say? Cubs, I haven't played enough games of... we're not salty or anything. So, yeah. So yeah, we get in, and then we just die to air, because we just can't kill his planes. And you see the thing, right? The many bombers at once all coming out. You can have an EW plane in front if you want. Or you can just bring 2 more T80 BVs or whatever. And you see the issue. So that's why we included it. I like to include my loss. I don't actually. I absolutely hate doing it. It physically hurt me to show you that video. Look how bad the KD was. But now you can learn from my mistakes. Bring the second card of fighters that is in the deck. Alright? And now I'll show you the next game, which was played immediately after this one. Right, so here's the next game. We're on Valley Duel, which is a very imbalanced map if you're on the blue. I've never seen the blue side win. I've not played it that many times, but I've honestly never seen the blue side win. Oh, actually, no, I played third and I was on this side and I won. Never mind, that's an exaggeration. Anyway, same guy, but this time he's playing 19th Czech. It's I've played against him 4 times. It's the only time I've not seen him on 39Y. So this game was played immediately after the last one, and you see I'm not doing the funny opening, so that's why I'm showing you it, because I'm not doing the funny opening, and I'm pretty sure I bring the second card of fighters. I believe I made that change at this point. So I know I can't do the funny opening because he'll expect me to do it because I did it in the game we just played. So he's actually doing the funny opening, so he's just doing the same thing but with 19th Czech. So this is a MiG-21 instead of a MiG-23, and this is literally the same helo. Except this one carries lots of water, apparently. It must be a firefighting helo. So what's the opener? It's 2 CVs like last time, although I don't think I pointed it out, I was too busy complaining. So two of these 40-point CVs, you basically just always want to open with that. And Razvedka Saperi for the places I need to get to fast. He doesn't have airborne forward deployment either. And Mot Razvedka and the BMP-1Ps for the places I need to get to slowly. So yeah, ATGM there, ATGM here. We are sending a Metis and a Saperi RPO around the side. Now what I could have done is send this BTR-60 down here, up here, around the side. I just wasn't good enough at the game that day. You see the BRDM2 Strela 1s, they can get out quite quickly, as opposed to like the Cub, right? You see how much further forwards it is, because it's wheeled so it goes faster. So he does see me here, right? So yeah, you can see all this. And it's got ECM and so on, but this time my things actually work. But I think we just like missed the next 3 also, so... It's all good, and you see he's circling things, but the Cub would one-shot this, so I buy this because I thought he might be, like, Russian. Anyway, you see the idea behind the Conkers and the Strela, right, to go around the side, so I'm coming over to here. Sadly, he did actually beat me here, which I'm quite surprised by. I wasn't aware that was possible. But he's on holding fire, but I'm pretty sure he turns it off, because I remember losing something here. Yeah, there you go, he noticed. So we missed him, but the Strela got through because of the way he was looking. Yeah. Generally, 19th Czech is seen as the stronger division by me, but not just because he's playing it. So he gets packed only self-propelled smoke mortar, for example. And the T-72M1s can survive a 30 AP missile, and they're like the cheapest tank in the game that survives a 30 AP missile. I'm pretty sure. T-72s. 3 top armor, so on. So yeah, T-72s are better. Just one T-80 BV will beat one T-72. The point is he gets absolutely loads of them. They have twice the availability, and they're not actually that much worse. He also gets better artillery, better infantry, and he also gets BMP-2s and BMP-1s and stuff. So yeah. He's still circling around here. I bought the Acacia because I figured, like, nothing's happening. I basically got both mid-zones. Like, I am on the good side, so, you know, fair's fair. I deserve it. Something like this, 35 points for 10 guys when Terriers have to pay 40 for 8, you know. Pretty ridiculous, actually. This should be 40. Actually, yeah, it definitely should. How much a Provincia? 45, okay. But they're 12, so... Anyway, so the BTR-60, you see how useful it is in this kind of situation? That just back... Because your infantry, the Soviet heavy infantry isn't actually that good. So you see I'm smoking here to cut down the range so that he can't shoot me with his tanks. And then I can kill his, you know, Motor Streltsy, which are 40 points, but have 2 MGs. Whereas mine are 40 points and have 1 MG, but my RPG has 4 more pen, so that's the trade-off there. But against infantry, obviously his is better. Against vehicles, obviously mine's better. So you see the power of the BTR-60, SC-20... I'm waiting for that MiG-23 to show up. So he did actually have this here. It does die in 1 hit to Cubs, but sadly we missed him twice. Sorry, the purpose of the guide is to talk about the division, but I just always focus on the RNG. I think I've played too much Warno. Anyway, so we did a good job of getting these shippers around the side, but we have taken the zone because the BTR-60's assisting these, right? You'll notice both of these one of the infantry brought has died, and that's because this shot it, because it's got 2 machine guns. It's really good for 30 points. There's a subset of people who think it's bad because the BMP-1 without smoke is also 30 points. Now, in a 1v1, yes, the BMP-1 will win, but the advantage of this is that it's super fast, and it just evades ATGMs and stuff by playing around LOS. Anyway, the guy brought like 4 Danners. Spent the whole game Danner-ing me. So you see he's taken this back. Visa Kari, I've got nothing like this. They only come in healers, which is a pain, but his special force is 10 guys for 65 points, which is... Is that right? Does that make sense? How much of Fauci... Lustum Jaeger and stuff like that? Anyway, there's a couple of things the Czechs get which are just too cost-effective. But, you know, it's not like the end of the world. So, you see, I smoked this to prevent him from shooting me with his T-72. So you see he has got through here, right? He is messing me up. He's finally got CV up to here. He did end this problem. Got the Conkers and the BRM-1K and the infantry Conkers. I am pushing over here. It's like, so this... Oh, okay, that's the Polish thing. So, this guy's got 1 HP, so I just drove into him, and he was on fire, which means he can't shoot. But I didn't know about this. This has just come in here now. So, these guys got through, but this is now here. So that ends up costing me later. This guy's really good, by the way. We've played against each other 4 times. Or 5 times. I think it's 4. And I've won 2 and he's won 2. So will this be a win or a loss? Anyway, he really likes his arty. As you can see, these prams are pretty good. Mainly just because of the smoke. Because they've got... Like, this is ridiculously cost-effective. Anyway, so I strafed these, but I failed to kill either of them. But the MiG-21 dies in 1 hit to a Cub, so we do eventually get him. You'll notice this has the CV next to it, so it gets more accuracy. So, yeah, he gets out there. I'm trying not to fly over mid, but he doesn't... 19th Czech gets Cubs, so I don't know where it is. But yeah, you see we're killing all the... The issue he's got with these Visa Kari and stuff is that they have to arrive by helicopter, and in a 1v1, that makes you a target. The Jesturkers are really nice, but they, you gotta pay a lot for it, and it dies to a BMP-2, say, for example. Really nice against helos, though, those Jesturkers. So you see he's put these all on return fire so that they all shoot at once. So, you know, he's shooting me a bit there. And you see the power of the BTR-60s just for, you know, shooting people, right? Very useful piece of kit. But I killed this guy, and I'm trying to get up here so I can just shoot across. Like I said, I'm on the good side. I cover it a lot, why it's the good side. So I don't think you need the deets. Anyway, I'm trying to hide here, but it was a bit silly of me where I went. So there you go, he buys the Cub. I get hit twice by the Cub and it kills both my Su-27s. But we're not complaining about RNG, because I just said I wasn't. Sorry, I'm a very self-aware person. I just cannot enforce what I... Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm doing something wrong, I just can't help myself. It's like, you know, addicts. I'm addicted to complaining about RNG. So, yeah, I've finally bought an Acacia, and as we spoke about in the deck review, you buy 2 of these at the start. One goes to the middle contesty zone, whatever, I mean, it's actually all the way up here. And the other one just goes and sits next to the artillery, right? And you can also, you know, leave it next to the AA or whatever. The general order of precedence is cap zones, support artillery, support AA for a CV. So yeah, we're just like on the sides, right? And there you go, look, the second card of fighters, incredible gameplay. So this thing killed that, and then like, so we're not complaining about RNG, but I couldn't help but note that this is just the same but more expensive, and these helos are the same. Except mine died in 1 pass and his didn't, but we're not complaining about RNG. Sorry, it must be insufferable to you. Do let me know what you think. Do you wish I'd complain about RNG less, or is it just part of the experience? Anyway, so this wasn't here before, right? So I lost 2 things on the road, including an AA piece, which would have been pretty useful here, right? And that's because he deployed it sort of later, after these first lot had got through. So I'm now waiting on the Rocket 2. I think I'm not sure why that's not a recon helo, but Anyway, so the prams are like, okay, it was a tank that got me. They're not very good at HE. Mortars in general aren't very good at HE. We'll see what happens after this rework thing. The general idea is to so yeah, he just sits there and tanks a bunch of ATGM shots. So you got to use 2 helos because the first one gets too close and then it can't shoot. This thing is 215 points, basically unkillable unless you've got Cubs or Eyehawks or Fighters up. I mean, he has Cubs, it's just not in the right place. Kills that. We need to talk about this, actually, it's very important. So that bomber bombs in a line. So, you know, you got your plane, flipping heck. This is what planes look like. Something like that. Alright. Listen, this is... The video's free, so stop complaining. What colour is it? It's black. And the... it's not really, but the enemy tank is in red. And that's... obviously the channel joiners have paid for this, so let's... This is worth lots of money, of course. This is a tank, it's looking... The gun is out there, whatever. So, I've done it wrong. This thing drops in a line. Okay, so let's say the line that they die in. It should be red, really, but we already use red for the enemies. So, okay, so it's black. The bombing line is black, and it's like this. Okay. And this is my plane, so it's blue because I'm the good guy. Right. It's important, okay? I'm not just making this up. So, I mean, so it's going to drop like this. Okay, so if the tank's here, and you just drop it in a straight line, if he's got any sense about him, he's going to turn left or turn right, and he's going to survive. Now, that's not always possible, because as you saw there, he was routed, right? But he's going to turn left or turn right. So how do you fix that? Well, you do something that you can't do in Paint, and that's come in at an angle. Which you can't do in Paint. Because, and this is actually a scientific concept known as flux, but we won't get that into it. But you bomb it like this, right? So wherever the tank is, if you bomb it, if you come in from the a little bit from the side and bomb it like this, then basically it kind of completely fucks with their brain, right? He can still go forwards and survive, or backwards and survive if he's fast enough. In fact, this is much easier for him now. But usually what people do is they go off at an angle and they die. And this actually isn't as thin as I'm making it out to be. It's actually a bit thicker, which means that he will still struggle to just go forwards or go backwards. So you want to come in from a slight angle, not just from straight on him. You want to come in at a slight angle, and because of a concept known as flux, it will increase your chances of hitting him, because this is moving through that, and the flux is higher basically. So bomb it, just listen to what I say. You don't have to listen. The explanation you can ignore. The scientific, it's probably, I'm using the wrong word anyway, but bomb him from a slight angle, not 90 degrees, because then you've just got the same problem. You bomb him from like a 30-degree angle from your side. And so what I should have done here is come in from here and bombed like that, because then I would have evac'd over my own, over an empty side, so I wouldn't have died, and I would have got that sideways thing. But he was routed, so he was just going backwards in a straight line. Anyway, so we're at a +3 because of this. He is bringing this up. Like, he could have played it more, but basically, you know, he just likes playing 39 wide. I've not seen him play anything else since this game, so yeah, rank 12, rank 16. Have I gone down? When I first started this guide, wasn't I rank 10? Oh well. Anyway, next example. So this example is here to highlight another very important point, which is that if you're just interested in playing the strongest thing, you should just play 79Y, because it's like this div, except better in almost every way. You get slightly less infantry, but that doesn't matter. Your BMP2s are just better without having to pay more. For some reason, he doesn't bring the BMP2D, I'm not sure why. You still get the Cubs, you get better tanks, which have 1 vet for free, or whatever, like 1 vet with... You get 3 at 1 vet instead of 2. So, look at this. Do you notice I'm coming in on a slight angle? Incredible. Anyway, I was just trying some Zany out, right, which was the slight angle bombing, which we spoke about, and I just wanted to open with this and that, and I figured I could just bomb them all on the road, but I messed up. I made a mistake. This Gel to him guy, he's really good as well. Only the best on the Hippie YouTube channel, right? Most of the time. So we opened 2 MTLBs. That cluster thing's only 215 points. We only opened 1 MTLB on the Liar. Sorry, only the best for the Hippie, whatever. This was back when I was bringing the Unspeakable one. I since took it out of my deck, because if you need that, you can just buy this. Yeah. So, Razvedka, we get there first, even though... Because 79 White has forward deployment, and you don't. And it has infantry ground surveillance radar, and you don't. And it gets more T-80 BVs than you. And it gets light tanks. Or what? Are these light tanks? Light mediums. Somebody's going to say, oh, actually, it's a very heavy tank. Just shut the fuck up, okay? It's got light armor. But actually, it's more like light medium armor. And it's light on the wallet. So, I used the Unspeakable one to snipe the Tunguska and then ran away. I don't understand why he's bringing Tunguskas. I think that's a terrible idea. Bring the Osa if you got to bring something like that. Or the Strela 10M. He doesn't get the BRDM Strela 1. Anyway... you can bring this if you want, right? You can take out the EW plane and bring this, but I just don't think you need it, really. Because the Conkers, already you get quite high availability on that, and you get all the BMP 1Ps. So, this thing I had to get back because the MiG-29... And, yeah, so his div's, like, way better than mine, because he gets Razvedka BMP 2s if he wants it, although I don't think he's brought those. And he gets the TO-55s, which really help him. Oh, no, he has it. There it is. And I don't get that. I just get the Razvedka BMP 1, which is a lot more cost-effective, actually. It's less than half the price, but it is worse. Gets ground surveillance radar, I don't. These TO-55s are absolutely crazy at the start of the game. Really hard for me to kill. As you'll notice, I've not killed any yet. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough gig. But I'm on the good side of the map, right? I'm just saying that, you know, if you want to play well, you should just play as... Look, do you see how I come in from the side there? I did miss the T-80BV, but... Anyway, and then I get, you know, first Cub shot hits me. But it was silly of me to evac this way. I could have come this way. It's just I was already half turned here, and I was like, oh crap, I gotta keep going. But I could have just come back all the way this way. So it was silly of me, but, you know, you do get better fighters because you get the SU-27S. But as you can see, that didn't work out this time. And, like, this thing is just stupid. It really is ridiculous. So you see he's driving at an angle there. So we don't hit him, but if I'd come in from a slight angle or whatever, but said it enough times now. He's low cohesion and I'm not, and it's the same tank, so you'd expect me to win, but you know what I'm like. So I bring over the Unspeakable one to also help out. But there's a BMP2 here, Rogue BMP2. Anyway, you see the power of the BMP 1P, this thing with the Cocons. I know bring out the Rocket 2 first, but this has the Cocons, and I needed a Cocon just then, and we're killing everything. I know his MiG-29 is down because I saw it evac, and I've got the Cub here for it. But realistically, I should have had my second, you know, a MiG-23 up or something here. So we'll speed it up a bit. You see we're winning on the trades, right? The BMP 1Ps, you can just, like, because he's buying too many BMP 2s. He can also get BMP 1Ps. He should be buying those at the start, because, like, this can't one-shot BMP 2, incidentally, but it's so much cheaper. Right, this combination is 105 points. This is 80, which means I can buy 3 in a minute, which is very important. So, Recon Helo with other Helo, right? He's got the same one. Like, these divs are very similar, except his is just better. Wow, look, it's my bomber. So you see he gets me there, and you see how hard it is to kill these, right? Because of how far away it flies and so on. It's a lot better than the British Tornado at surviving that sort of thing. British Tornado's like 35 points more. Yeah, it should really be like 15 more, basically. So you see I load this back up to save it. That's another thing you can do with BMP 1Ps. Really, PGs or whatever. The PG's really good. I was completely wrong. This was an early game, so I was still bringing the Briusa instead of the Strela 10M thing. Because I could have put a Conkers around here, around the back, try and kill an Acacia, put a Strela 10 with it, so it can, whatever, the wheeled one. BRDM Strela 2, I think it's called. The Strela 10M is the tracked one. And then, you know, I could get that all the way around and like this, so that was a learning from this game to add that to the deck. That's where the deck comes from. The deck comes from this suffering. So we're trying to kill him here, but struggling a little bit. Yeah. And then he just drives into that. And you see how hard it is to kill these. I've got, you know, many... Okay, not that many. So he's pushing me on this side, which it makes sense, I guess, but like this is where I'm... Like, because the map really helps me here. This is why it's the good side. So it's quite easy to defend this. There you go. So we did finally get him there with the Bruiser and the Cub. And do you see how he bombed me from a slight angle? Actually got him killed that time. If he'd come in this way and gone that way, maybe he would have made it, but... So, yeah, I don't understand how he's built this div at all. He doesn't bring the IS-29, which is just this but better for like 5 points more or 10 points more or something. Because it goes faster and it's got a better ATGM and it has like 3 availability at 1 vet, whereas this has 2. So he doesn't bring that. And he's bringing too many BMP 2s, not enough BMP 1s. And that's about it, really. So anyway, EW playing out first. And you see I'm sort of triple bombing him there, and the EW playing it actually does keep me alive, and I get 1. But because I bombed in a straight line, he moved. So you see this got hit, and these two got off scot-free, so... The other thing you can do with it is use it to spot targets, so you can shoot them with an Acacia. You'll see the MTLB. I opened with 1, and then I bought the second one. But then, you know, we don't need it here anymore, so it comes back to the Acacia. Getting a Cub on this side. We are getting messed up. But yeah, he doesn't bring the good BMP2s either. I don't get it, personally. He's a very good player, he just... Anyway, you know, this was shooting at my EW plane, so now it's getting shot at by an Acacia. If I'd had 2, I probably would have killed it there, but... So, as you can see, we're struggling. The RPG-22 guys come in the BMP2 for me, because that just makes it a little bit cheaper. And I like having the nice RPG on the BMP1 guys. I mean, you can do it whichever way you want. But they are 5 points cheaper, so... So, yeah, these can survive, you know, because they got 4 armor, they can survive a hit. I should have just smoked that straight away. So I want to use this again, so EW plane goes first, but I kind of mess up the... Do you see how I'm coming in from the side, so that he can't just dodge it in a straight line? This has 25% accuracy, so you wouldn't expect it to hit me, really. And you see, the Flux, bro, the Flux. But he does still get away. I mean, that was the HE one, not the cluster one. MiG-23, right. And we do actually get it with the Cub there. We shot 3 rounds and we hit it twice, so... I'm not sure about stats on that, like if that should happen, but... Anyway, so he's got his 2 Acacias, but he doesn't have a CV next to them, so they're not firing as fast. He's going for my smoke mortar. I mean, I had it for smoke, but I didn't have anything to shoot at, so you just use it regularly. So he's got the 10% more ECM, but you'll notice that even though my gun is worse on paper, right, because his is a turret, he just couldn't shoot me. Or something, I'm not sure what was going on there. Anyway, the TO-55's given a lot of momentum in the early game, but you see that the extra side armor on this is probably what saved me there, because... I mean, okay, the front, it's only doing 1 damage per front hit. Did just hit me 4 times in a row, though. But anyway, well, would I have taken 3 more damage there from that side shot? I don't know. Probably not. Probably would have been 2. But yeah, you see, like, this thing can work really well. Sometimes it just dies in 1 hit. But the idea is you keep it with your fighters. Like I said, you don't have to bring this. You can just bring 2 more TABVs or additional infantry and upvet your infantry, right? Stuff like that. Anyway, he's breaking through here because I've got a lot of units sat around here not doing anything. So I should have cleaned this out. But he's got 2 T80BVs here, so I can't really, can I? But yeah, I've got a lot of Cubs up at this point, but they're not really... Well, they didn't get that guy. So this is a pretty funny moment. So I'm shooting him in the front with this, fire all the Cocons, right? And then I come in with this guy. The Grom. The Grom, can he do it? Can he do it? Can he do it? Let's speed up a little bit. What? Oh, no, yeah, what? And then he sideshots and kills you. Immediately gets 2 ranks of veterancy from it. Then sadly the KPVT kills it, but I mean that was the power of the BMP1s, right? They are very good for the price. They used to be even cheaper, if you can believe that. Anyway, so I'm just HE in this because I don't have anything to smoke and I have the mortars. And if he wants to RT this, great, because it means he's not RTing something else. So yeah, we're trying to hold him off here. Got 18 minutes left. But you see the... so we do get him there. And this can shoot while landed. Did you see that? It can shoot while landed. So very important, that. Very, very important. So he's got 2, I've got 1. But, you know, I'm looking at my HP. What I'm really doing is trying to keep him there so I can do this. And you see, we're dropping at a slight angle, right? And we get both of them. But yeah, that's why that was staying in the fight. I knew I wasn't going to win against 2 tanks. The idea was keep him there as long as possible so the bombers could get in and kill him. So we get 2 TABVs here. So at this point I could come clean this up. I should have moved the Metis over, right? That would have been useful. But, you know, I'm noob, right? So, yeah, he's trying to do the same thing. Like, this is literally just the same plane. So I didn't know if there were still guys in there. I mean, there were, but I missed them. Trying to keep this up to kill this guy if he comes around. You see he is slowly... But, I mean, these don't have very good pen, so, like, this can work against that. Against this, it would lose. As you're about to see. So, yeah, maybe I bought too many planes and stuff. You see, he sent this around to kill the Acacia, and this, I just didn't notice it in time. So I just moved this away, and then he drops the bomber on it, so I try and go backwards, so I do actually make it out there. And then I get behind this guy and I kill him, and we try and get him away. EW planes up, SU-25 AT, this is back when I was still bringing the AT one. I don't really think you need it, but in this game it actually does amazingly, so you can bring this instead of the rocket one. It's just the rocket's 3 per card, it's just, this ends up coming in clutch. And you see when he's in a forest, right, you know, it's harder for him to do stuff. This has 2 side missiles, whereas the rocket one doesn't, but he's got a lot of AA up here now, so he does get me there. Yeah, so we're trying to, but like, basically the reason I'm getting hammered here is because I've got so much here. So I don't know, that's clearly a mistake. But I just figured I could hold him here indefinitely, because what's he going to do? I mean, he gets across this, then I just kill him with a ATGM or whatever, but... So maybe I did put too much here. I do eventually try sending him out over here, and you see I'm trying to kill this, but I end up missing it. It doesn't die, so... And you see we've got the ATGMs for the side positions to shoot down here, so he basically has to drag everybody over this forest. This is why this is the good side, because it's harder to take Boris than it is to take Anna because of this big hill. And even if you do take it, it's really hard to take this one, Paul, because, you know, I've got this very defensible position. And he's got to get through this whole forest, so... If they were up for it, basically, they should just make one of these here. And then there you go, even map. In that case, actually, it'd probably become red-sided because they get a better time in middle because they can see down here, whereas, you know, you can't see down here from there. But you can still see down there from there. But this hill would be here in this hypothetical situation, so... I lose that guy to, like, a Conkers or something. So... Yeah, I'm just not good with the heavy tanks. I'm used to playing lighter divs, basically, where you just send out all these mediums, and if 1 or 2 die, it really doesn't matter. So he does get me there on the ground. The Cub's out of ammo, so... this Cub misses him twice. Second time he wasn't there, but... So he's a cat's hearing me bigly. We're trying to get across here. We've got the BMP2s here to fire with the ATGMs. Sap area LPO at 1 vet. Trying to get around the sides here. And, yeah, he's got to go back whenever that happens. And buy another Cub. That just immediately kills me. You see the power of this position. Like, he should have put a lot of effort into taking this first, before he came for this. And then if you take this, unironically, you can just cut this and come this way. So, his going towards this really narrowed his options and gave me the ability to just sweep over this side and start threatening him over here. Like, he does have to buy stuff for over here. This is the tank we were talking about. But yeah, you see how hard it is to kill these Su-24Ms. It's ridiculous. It really is. So we get behind him there. Cap one of his supplies. Just speed it up a bit. He's got lots of cubs out at this point. Lots of AA. And yeah, it's just a case of he's trying to push through here. I think he would have been... Like, look at this army. This is an open ground army. Wouldn't have this been much better off taking this and coming this way? But then I would have been shooting him in the side, so... Anyway, the SC-27 got shot, so we RT the cubs. You should always do that. RTing AA is a very good idea. It's kind of loud. Anyway, so this is... This is why we were waiting. So EW playing out first, and all four of these bombers, 2 cards. Yeah, we do a lot of damage on him. Like, these survive on a minuscule slither of health, but you see the advantage, and nobody died, even though there's cubs here. And that's because, well, for starters, I RT'd one of the cubs, very important, and 2, the EW plane. In fact, I don't even think anybody got hit. So that's why we kept that in. And the last thing I wanted to show was... so, you know, the SU-25 rocket is... like, you see, so that guy, he's only on 1 HP, right? The SU-25 rocket is 3 per card, so it is probably the better bring. But this thing does have its uses as well. You can bring this if you want, and we're just trying to kill this, basically. So this is his Hail Mary, right? We've got flanking fire, like this has mediocre stealth, so it's kind of hard to see. He's bringing a lot of Iglas now, and you see this just comes in and just gets a triple kill, right? And that was it. So, show you the KD, and then we'll get on to the next example, right? So he's rank, he's gone down a lot, but anyway, next example. Right, so this one's in here because it's one of the most common matchups in Warno. Because these were basically the joint second divisions added to the game. The game started with 79Y and 3rd Armoured, and then they added 8th US and 39Y. So this is a very common matchup. I mean, these days I guess it isn't, but yeah, so 39, so he's got some advantages, I've got some advantages. Anyway, you see we've got the Recon Helo, the Rocket one now, and the Molder. But this time I sort of messed up a bit. I end up not getting him there. We do kill this, and that's, you know, there you go, 100 points for me. So he's got some advantages, I've got some advantages. His advantages are he gets medium tanks and sort of lighter tanks. So he gets the, you see we just kill this, and there you go, that's now 180 points, so it's paid for itself, and it's still alive. He gets airborne forward deployment, I don't. He gets light tanks and medium tanks in the form of the M60s and the... I suppose this is a medium, really, not a light tank. And sort of lighter heavies in the form of the regular M1 Abrams. And I just get the T-80 BVs, but my huge advantage is that I get... excuse me? So, you see, he's just sort of piling down here, and we're shooting him with the Conkers and so on. My big boy advantage is that I get IFVs and he doesn't, and it is a big advantage. I get the BMP 1Ps and he doesn't. That's why this example's in here. So you see the Zany opener, like, it's so effective, honestly. There's so many cases you can do it. The issue is, of course, as soon as this guide goes into public access, you won't be able to do that opener for like a month, because everybody will know you're going to do it. And that's why it pays to be a channel joiner, because they're going to get this a couple weeks early, right? And that's going to allow them to get stuff done. But yeah, having the IFVs is so useful. Like, this is really good. Like, this is just stupid for the prize. Has he brought the He gets something similar, but it's got 1 less AP, and it's got 1 armor. It's a joke! It should definitely be 45 points. It's very, very silly. And it was 45, it's just they reduced it at the same time as they reduced the one without smoke. It's really something. Anyway. So, you know, just keeping the fighter up until it runs out of fuel, because I don't have any ground-based AA. You only want to buy the T-80 BVs once you've got AA to protect them, and that can either just be literally just always having a fighter up, so as soon as this evac's buy another one, or having Cubs. So you see the fighter's about to run out of fuel, so I buy a cub. And you see that the BMP2s are out, so I bring these at 2 vet, if you recall, in the final build, the final estimation, and that's because, honestly, I should have just bought lots of BMP1s here, and what do you know, right? So I did actually cast this game in full, or at least I played it live, I think. I feel like I've seen this before. Obviously I played it. Anyway, the idea is one fighter goes down, and then I just immediately bought the next fighter because I was like, he's probably going to bomb my TABV, and lo and behold, he bought an F11F LGBT. So, you know, the brain, it is big. The ego, it is massive. The M1 Abrams is at 2 vet. I'm not sure why. But basically, he's bought way too much infantry here. A lot more. He should just have 2 more M60s, and then the M60s can team up on the BMP2s, right? And he should have an Ihawk up. So he buys this for the SU-20. So yeah, I just 3v1 him there. I mean, so that the minute had just sort of just passed. So yeah, we get him. BMP2s are killing all the infantry. You see, we're sneaking up here with BMP-1PGs, right? That at this point, this was still at 2 vet, but I started to find that I was running out of infantry, so I bring the BMP-1Ps at 1 vet, because you really do want as many as possible. Got the smoke mortar out to cut down on the amount of guys that can shoot at us, right? So that this Abrams can't engage because of the smoke, for example. Keeping the air superiority with the Su-27s. Then we see the tow Cobra, so we come in on that. Yeah. And the BMP2s are just rinsing him. Obviously this should smoke here instead of just sitting around and dying, but I'm bad. So yeah, the MTLBs are being sent up now. This one I just messed up and he just hit me. I should have just driven into that corner instead of fast moving into that corner because he came down this road and got shot. I mean, that was just dumb of me, really. The MP Patrol M67s are nice. I do like those, but yeah. Anyway, so the smoke mortar, now I switch it up, so now I'm going to smoke the front of the zone to get the CV up. Whereas before I was smoking the back of the zone to stop him from shooting. You see I buy the rocket too before I buy the V or whatever, and that's because it's cheaper and I just need to shoot infantry here, and if this gets hit by a jet, no big E, compared to the other one, which is a lot more important. So he tries to drive into the smoke, which is sensible, and these things having the mediocre stealth is so important. You'll notice they're not getting shot. Anyway, so he does the thing. He buys the F-16 to kill the thing, and if that had been the other one, it would have died. And I was going to say, and then my fighter kills him, but clearly not, so they must have all been down. So he drives into the smoke, which I think was sensible. But yeah, he really needs to sort this out, basically. Like, if those had just unloaded here and attacked this way while this is smoked here, I wouldn't actually be able to stop him. Although I would have driven around here. I would have tried to do something. So you see I'm pushing left, right, and you get the Metis, and you get the... Well, I lost the other one, so I'm buying the next cheapest. And yeah, you just keep buying the BMP 1Ps and stuff. Like, you can buy 3 of these a minute. I don't recommend doing that. Like, you want to spread things out a bit, but you can easily buy 2 and fit something else in that minute. He keeps buying the helos, right? So we many fighter him, and we got the Cubs up as well. LGBT gets me that time. We got a double kill there. It only displayed 1, but... And yeah, the rocket comes in, and you wouldn't need the AT plane for this, right? So we kill that. Anyway, then I completely mong out, and I get really close to this guy, and then I right-click on it. I should have turned away, but I don't know. You'd expect at least one of these to miss, but c'est la vie, all 3 hit me. So he buys 2 Ihawks now, which is like... So that's just his momentum completely dead now. He should have just bought 1 and, an M60 or something for this. Or a recon. And you see how useful this is? If your enemy refuses to do anything about it, smoke is just so powerful. He can do lots of things about it. He can hit this for starters, it's not moving, but you'd have to buy an artillery piece and that would also kill his momentum, so, smoking's good. Engineer's Dragon I don't recommend. You see, because I've capped this, I can bring the Cubs up here, and then that I can... Because otherwise it's back here. Whereas here it's closer to the air spawn, which incidentally is there, so... So I come in for the tow Cobra. But there's two Eyehawks there. Thankfully I don't die, because they split, you know, some shot one, some shot the other. He's actually moving them after they shoot, which is intelligent. So just speed it up a bit now, and like you see the like, so we're engaging, and it's not just tanks, it's tanks and BMP ones. You gotta keep that in mind, because you don't get that many tanks, so... In general, that's a good piece of advice. I've basically been saying it in all the guide videos, because I've been doing the UK ones. Am I in the right place? Yeah, I think so. Sorry. It's the production quality you know me for. So, no AA here, big mistake. Should have had a BRDM Strela 2 thing, right? I mean, this is literally the same price as an Igloo with the transport. Very cost effective, and just put it there and black that guy, you know. But yeah, I brought the cub up to shoot him. So he eventually buys the arty, but at this point, you know, I'm very far ahead. I'm threatening this side as well, and yeah, no IFVs. It just makes divisions so much harder to play when you don't have IFVs. Like, look at this, I'm just, you know, obviously I don't kill him, but we're trading. The Eyehawk does shoot me there. But I've pinged it, look, F1 click, and now my Akatsu's going to go on that. So let's see if we get it. LGBT comes out. I smoke with all, because you've noticed I've got 3 tanks now, and I've got the BMP 1Ps, and I've got the Cub, and I've got the fighters on standby, so like 2 fighters for that. Because they're going to do that, they're going to try and snipe your heavy tank, and it's... yeah, that wasn't great. I shouldn't have flown back over there, really. That was dumb of me. Just lost that for no reason. Because they will, as night follows day, they will try and snipe this, because it's literally the price of their plane. And it's 2 per card, and most planes are 2 per card, right? So, 1 vet, you know. So you got to bring these things at 1 vet. So, yeah, and with these Soviet heavy divs, it's really, really easy to not lose your heavy tanks, because not only have they got a metric ton of armor and they're super fast, you also have long range AA. So you get the idea, right? Now we'll go to the next example. Right, so this is an example against 4th Motschützen on, I think this is Eiche Duel. Anyway, so we open with the funny opener, and my fighter was out of position because I'm big noob. Thankfully, my plane's just a better version of his plane, so I lose. But don't worry, we'll get out. But actually we won't, because for some reason this doesn't rotate towards the airspawn. So his worst fighter just kills mine, and just wins that trade. But if my micro had been better, maybe that wouldn't have happened. Anyway, that isn't why I wanted to show you the footage. The reason is I want to highlight another weakness of this division, which is that, yes, you're a mechanized div, but you are not supposed to be grinding towns. You really aren't. And you'll see that highlighted in this game. So, 4th Mot, very good at grinding towns, right? And... yeah, so we see the Strela 1, which is like my BRDM Strela 1, so I just chase after it with this and kill it, and you see the advantage of the BTR-60s. He's air spamming me like mad. I'm losing here because he's better in the town. He's also, like, I believe I'm the one smoking him to stop his T-55s from shooting me, which does actually buy me valuable time to reinforce, so it was worth it. This guy doesn't have AT, so he can't do anything about that. So he's like buying way too many planes, basically, this guy. He was really good, but like, okay, so he's killed 2 of my fighters now. Thankfully I've got 2 cards of fighters. But yeah, we get the CV there, right, because we eventually get to it. Yeah, so I start buying the Cubs. And he completely pushes me out of here, because you'd expect him to, really. He's got the airborne forward deployment, I haven't, and he's just got better infantry than me. All the Fallschirmjäger, basically. Lots of Fallschirmjäger. So, I do something very, very stupid, and it's, basically, I might as well spoil it for you, because it's a guide, not a, you know, a kind of hype cast or whatever. I spend the rest of the game trying to get back in here, and it really, really, really messes me up. So, you see, in the open, I have the big advantage because, I mean, this Cobra thing's really nice. Cobra thing's really nice. And the TABB is obviously going to be a T-55 in the open. And you see this thing, right, so that's another reason to watch this replay, although I guess I don't have to sell it to you if you're already watching it. The rocket thing actually messed up the tanks. It didn't kill them, but it messed them up. You see I've got all the way up to here, that got critted and died, which is pretty unfortunate, actually. But, you know, we have lots of AA, so... Like, I might have just hit him again. But yes, it is unfortunate. And, you see, he can't really push out of this thing. Like, these are just so good. Somebody was telling me they think the missile on this is bad. Like, what the fuck are you smoking? You know, you can fire a round, switch this off, and immediately fire the Cobra, right? I don't know, people. I should just be in charge of everything. Anyway, you see this grenade launcher really helping me here. Like, I've killed two... Okay, I killed a Metis there, and everybody else is on 1 HP, and that's just because this was hosing them down. But yeah, I didn't realise how... Like, I could have killed 3 squads there if I'd paid a little bit more attention, but you see the advantage of these grenade launchers. But once we get into the town, then I'm useless, right? So he's still air spamming me, but because you get 4 cubs in a card, it's very easy to deal with air spammers, these Soviet heavy divs. It should really be 3 per card, but we've been over that enough times. Seed also doesn't work properly. So we just wait for him to turn his back, and oh, it's 3 cub plus ASF time. There goes the seed. Rocket plane, he forgets to evac it. So we get that as well. Very, very easy to deal with air spammers, cub divisions. Cubs are stupid. Can't say this enough, it should be 3 per card. Anyway, he's pushed me out of here, right? His infantry is better than mine. It costs a little bit more, right? 10 points more than a motor Strelky for Resolute and 1 more MG. Oh no, this is the BTI. It's only 5 points more. It's because this has an extra guy, because it's the one that comes in the SPW. So we do a bit of hitting there. And look, you can send the Conkers around the side, and this ends up being mega useful. But yeah, I'm on a +2, and basically the Mong move I make is I just spend the rest of the game trying to push into here. That was really dumb of me. I should have come and killed all this lot, and then pushed into here, you know, in the open, where I'm strong. But I wanted to sort of fight nearer my spawn, because of nearer my air spawn and so on. So this thing is missing a lot. But like, look how many planes he's losing, just because cubs, easy mode, got 4 cubs, easy mode, killed so many planes. But yeah, I should have pushed over here, because I'm stronger in the open. So he's coming up here, right, and I can't see him. So he does surprise me with like the mega attack. He's got smoke and stuff. He's a really good player. And you see, you know, I bought the Rocket 2-1 first. Recon in front. He could see this for some reason. I don't know how. And yeah, look, the cluster thingy, but this doesn't drop, and this also doesn't drop, because this gets evac'd, and this one just doesn't drop, so... Anyway, you see the advantage of this thing. There's 2 smoking wrecks there, which is like... I think it's 2 of these with Motschutsen inside, so that's, you know... 160 points killed with 70 points, and it's still got 4 rounds left, and it's, you know, maybe killed some other stuff in the meantime. So yes, he gets in here, and that's because of my own stupidity. I keep trying to fight in this zone, which is where he's like mega strong. So, learn from my mistakes, dear viewer. Don't attack in a town if you don't have to. If you get a map like 2 lakes, you basically screwed us this div. You just got to make sure you get there. You just like go around the side and just kind of siege them down, but I just kept doing this. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Mega throw. Whereas if I'd attacked over here, well then he can't just sit in all the buildings, because there aren't any, there's like 1, and clear him out of this, right? And then he can't do this, because I'm shooting him, and I'd be pressuring this zone. I'd have to swing the cubs around, but instead I'm just here fighting in the open, getting picked off by the unspeakable one, which just keeps getting me, because it's, you know, 60% accuracy, because they're all mega vetted from how many things they've killed. So this was the one from before. I evac'd the wrong way, that was dumb. And then I got hit by everything under the sun. I believe I covered this game separately as well, yeah, because I remember complaining about that. Complaining gives me strength. Anyway. So yeah, we get in, but then it's like 1 Motschutsen will kill these, even if he's 1 vet and I'm 2 vet, because it's just better. The Motschutsen's better against... Well, it's just better in general, actually, but, you know, this is 35 points and the Motschutsen's 45. So yeah, very silly of me. Very silly of me. You see, we're still killing his planes, right? We've still got 4 cubs. That ends up going down. But yeah, like, I'm just wasting so much of my potential attacking this zone. Playing Warno, of course, is a great use of my potential. And in the open, you see how much better I am, right? The BMP2s... Like, this is so cost-effective, but, you know, it can't one-shot a BMP2. Then I bring up the helos. Sorry, you can't really hear when those helos are firing, so I just zoom out a bit. And you see that, I mean, the sheer quantity of... So, it was 64 times by 6. It's many. It's a high number. It's a very high number. So if you get hit, you just land, right? And then you can actually still shoot your rockets against things you can see. But, like, this fires super fast. It is literally the one I have. Except his is resolute. So I lose the CV, right? And I lost a cub. And then this gets shot by that. But yeah, you see, I mean, well, that was a bit dumb of me as well, actually. The 100% accuracy cubs got me, but there's a lot of AA there. You'd expect these to... Actually, they've run out of rounds, so if... I could have made it. But look how useful this has been. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So you can see that in a more open setting, I just absolutely cremate him. Whereas here, I'm just getting wrecked, man. I mean, this is crazy. Just getting wrecked. So, I'm a silly Billy, right? And he's on a +2 now. This was big silly Billy hours, actually. You see, I've not really bothered resupplying this. I could have done. Anyway, I proceed to do more stupid things. Like, I just never should have attacked here at all. I should have just defended here. He can't get across this line. And then just come up here. Never lost this. Taken this and attacked this. But... the silly billiness continues. I now decide, okay, I can't really see anybody, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my Cubs and my T-80 BVs all the way up here to join this BRDM2 Conkers. Don't do this, guys. I'm basically playing it as if it's a light division because I usually play light divisions. But you see how effective these are? Like, he's just not noticed that that's happening. Anyway, so he does side-shot me here. And he does kill me because there were just 3 tanks there, so that was dumb of me. And then I can't resupply the Cubs. Still fighting over here. Imagine if I'd had more forces here because I wasn't doing something retarded. What can I say? So I actually do end up running out of infantry, so this is why the BMP 1Ps are at 1 bet. So yeah, the Cubs come out here and they just all die, and oh my gosh, why am I so stupid? Why am I so stupid? If that same force had come down here, we would own Boris. I mean, really, is that simple? So this is why I include these examples, so you can learn from my mistakes. Anyway, I don't know, you just always seem to know where these were. I'm not sure. Maybe there was a unit here that it shot at and I didn't move it, you know. So he's smoking and attacking over here, and if only I'd had units to defend with instead of sending them all out here to die, right? But, you know, we've got the side thing up and so on, so fighters kill his thing, and then he overextends a bit. And we kill that. This is when I was still experimenting, so we've got an OSA in here. Instead of the BRDM2 Strela thing. But yeah, you see he's pushing here, and, you know, we can shoot him in the side, basically, so that's big news for us. Probably would have been better off attacking here, but this is where all his guys were, so... But yeah, imagine how much easier that would have been for me if I had just not attacked the town. Just given up on the town and attacked where I'm strongest. So that's a big learning. You can't just play every div the same. You can if you only play Soviet heavy divs, because they are all the same. But in general, you can't play every div the same. So, won that one. There should be a couple more examples after this, but yeah, you see that. Right, so the purpose of this example, there's a couple of them, they'll come up as we go in, but it's another one where I'm not doing the funny opener. I thought it was best to include quite a few of those because I'm against 35Y, played by somebody called G-Puts. and I was assuming that he would open with forward deployed AA, but actually he didn't, so it would have worked, but, you know. So you see Razvedka Saperi out in front, Iglas, a couple Iglas, right? So he does open double Hilo, which I was quite surprised by, but, I mean, it worked out for him. Anyway, BTR 60 PB at low cohesion against 110 point Hilo or whatever, and you see how fast it kills it. Sorry, I know you can't really hear me, but the BTR 60 PB is AA against Hilos. You just basically you have it like behind something like that, so he's too close to shoot you. Really, really effective piece of kit, the BTR 60 PB. People need to believe more. Anyway, this goober brings the NSV 12.7 instead of the... Oh, he brings both. Okay, that's interesting. Suppose that makes a bit more sense. So, yeah, the Spetsnaz, right? Oh no, Spetsnaz, 90-point unit is killing me. Help. So, I do have the BRDM2 Strollers in at this point. And you see, you know, at the start you'd expect him to be better. So, we buy this thing, which incidentally was a mistake. We see the MiG-29 coming straight for it, but I have a Cub here, because I opened with the Cub, and I also bought 2 more Strela 1s once those Helos showed up. So, even though we miss him, he's evac'd. I see him evac. Okay, now it's playing time. And check out this BTR 60 PB, which costs 1/3 the price of these Spetsnaz. Well, the Spetsnaz don't have AT. And this will work against, you know, like something like this, it'll work, right? 30mm team, it might work. Something like this, if you play around the LOS, you can make it work, right? So what happened here is I just poked out, he shot at me, and I just went back behind Summit, and you can just keep doing that. And look at this. This thing's killing 2 Spetsnaz. Obviously, we got the bomber, right? That was completely unnecessary. I didn't have to buy that. And BTR 60 claims a kill. BTR 60 claims another kill. So useful. It's just you got to pick your moment, right? And, you know, I could always just send it round the side, come kill this, and just keep sending it round. It's only 30 points. You know, something like this I can kill no problem. But yeah, we get 2 Spetsnaz with the BTR 60. So that's one of the main reasons this example's in here. The other one was the give you an idea of the non-meme opener. And at this point, we basically just win. I mean, we'll just speed it up a bit. So we get the 30 mils, we just keep buying Cubs and stuff. Just keep buying Cubs. Play it nice and slow. The longer this goes on, the better I'm going to get. So yeah, he does get my CV there because he had this. I send this over to kill this, and I'm not sure. I guess he landed it or something. Buy all the 30mm, get 1 T80, right? And I needed a CV, so I get the CV1. So yeah, 1 T80, and just keep it alive, keep it under the Cubs, keep the fighters up. I lost that fight, even though I had Cubs helping me. It happens. I mean, his plane has the same guns, the same missiles, it's just I've got 10% more ECM, which is neither here nor there. You see the power of the BMP-1Ps, having loads of BMP-1Ps. As you can see, he's kind of freaking out now. He's buying 3 Scratches and then 3 Conkers, and, you know, we did end up getting that. But yeah, it's Jova for him. There's just a couple more things I wanted to show you. So he's got the cooler AT. This thing ends up doing quite a bit, actually. Like, we miss him a lot. Anyway, so he gets the CV tank. Big sad. CV tank's 2 per card. The LGBT's 1 per card. And so I could have had a fighter up, and then that probably wouldn't have happened. I was just relying on the Cubs. As you can see, it's not enough against something like that, because I believe we missed our first round or something. Smoke mortar out. I was smoking the CV tank. Oh, no, I remember why this died. It got a bailed out. It got either a bailed out or an engine destroyed. That's why it died. Otherwise, it would have been behind something. Yeah, it did. It did. Trust me. Bro, trust me. Anyway, the HE bomber, whoa, 3 kills, 3 kills. This thing, as you can see, really does struggle against something like this. Just comes down to the RNG. And then, yeah, why the Rocket 2? This is another thing. You buy the Rocket 2 before you buy the expensive one, because the jet's going to come for it regardless, and you just make sure you've got Cubs and fighters, and then you kill him. You just play it slow. I mean, this div excels at that. The main thing is, it is better to just play 79Y. There's really no reason not to. Anyway, you see the BMP-1Ps and what Razvedka taking names. CV gets in. We've got 2 cards of relatively cheap CVs. TABVK, gets shot once, goes back. Goes in, shoots a bit, gets shot once, goes back. Make sure you've always got supply behind them. Make sure you've always got supply with your cubs, right? This was for that. This was for that, but I moved it up. And you just systematically dismantle the enemy. I mean, these Soviet divs, if you can just be calm, which I struggle with, personally, but if you can just calm down and just play it a bit slowly, you can just win so many games by just kind of sitting there. Anyway, you see the, you know, use grenade launcher time. Oh, I win the fight because I have a grenade launcher. Conquers, Metis, the tanks, and, you know, it's Jova. It's Jova. And, you know, sure, BMD2 is better, but Cosmo. And the Conquer's claiming names. He's bought a bunch of Iglas for the bombers. And you see, you know, I ran out of things to smoke, so I am smoking here actually, but yeah, I'm just using it for Hippie. I mean, it's probably not going to do anything, but you know. Yeah. So double Acacias with the MTLB, spoken about that enough times. You can even use the MTLBs from the mortars, right? So we send over the Strela. Like this Akula got a lot of value actually, but we do eventually kill it. And you know, he pushed us back a bit. We just go back. You don't lose all your guys. Anyway, EW playing out in front. He. And 1, 2, 3 Iglas. There were 4, but I artied some of them, and there's also Scratchet. And they get 1 hit, right? And we kill the things, and like these are just ridiculous for the price. This should be 20 points more. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So that's another way to help crack open the town. But yeah, if you just kind of play it slow, you've still got the Saperi RPOs as well and the 30mm, which are great in towns. It's just your line infantry doesn't have high HP. You don't have very high HP infantry. Whereas he's got... Actually, he doesn't either on this. Oh, he's got the Spetsnaz, which are like 12, right? Just keep playing it slow, just keep killing people, fall back if you gotta fall back, and then he does his own big air wave consisting of 1, 2, 3, 4 planes. But I have cubs and he doesn't have cubs, so we just kill them all, from what I remember. So he's lost 1, 2, 3, and that's just the cubs, right? So yeah, back to it, and I was like, okay, you mustn't have too much AA, but we get hit, and you know, we just send it back. They can survive a manpad hit. Just make sure you're paying attention to your healers, right? And then these all miss that. Anyway, it didn't really matter at that point. So you get the idea, right? Now let's see the last example. Right, so this is the last example, and then we'll do a summary. And this is on Urban Frontlines, and we're against 8th US, so I'm just doing the funny opener again, you know, because he doesn't get forward deployed AA, and the Stingers aren't going to get there in time. If he opens 2 jets, just evac these and land this. And you're still ahead on trades, because his 2 jets will cost him like 420 points. Right, this is like 3, this is about the same. So actually it's an even trade if you just evac. People don't think about it. They're like, oh, I'm going to lose because so I have to keep going in. Anyway, here you see the advantage of the rocket one. So get 2 kills there, including the transport, 4 kills there, including the transports. This one I sort of messed up, right? Didn't hit it or whatever. And you see how effective that was. So also we've opened 2 MTLBs and a Cub because we're expecting a long game. This, I get kind of lucky here actually. Like that, I mean, it shouldn't really be happening, and that allows me to kill the LRS. So his does cost about 30, 40 points more. Anyway, we see the F-16, and I believe I evac. Yeah, I see it now, and I evac. This thing, I believe, does take the brunt. Basically, what should have happened there is we both evac each other or something. Anyway, so I've got a Conkers and a Strela 1 coming round, but he had a Bradley there, which is crazy, man. I mean, this costs about the same. I mean, these 2 are a little bit more expensive put together, but yeah, and the Cub, you know, it evacs him, and Another great thing to do on this map is just spam the 30mm and the conkers. I mean, it sounds obvious, but the 30mm can shoot from here to here, whereas an MMG team can't. Because of the range. Look, it's just on the edge of a range, whereas the MMG team is 1200 meters. So, yeah, one MTLB goes for Fedor and then center, one goes for Gregory, Chariton, Ivan. Look at this. This is 40 points for a 50 cal and a tow, with good optics and mediocre stealth. That dumb thing that I get is 40 points and has a better ATGM and a Grom and 3 armor. And also has good optics and mediocre stealth. It's ridiculous. And it also has higher availability. This is 5 and mine's 6. I mean, they should have just left it at 45, but I've complained about it enough. You do occasionally see, like, Spartacus is actually a pretty good player. He used to be a lot better than me, but I don't think he plays as much anymore. So, F16 came around here, and we hubbed and fighted him at the same time. We got the hog. I need recon up here, really. Like, this isn't good enough. You need a recon here so you can actually see this. Although these have exceptional stealth, so you struggle to see it anyway. He's attacking me with lots of infantry, and it doesn't matter because this has a grenade launcher on it, so it kills everything. This has a grenade launcher on it. The conkers are scaring off the vehicles. It's really something. This Bradley's really doing my head in. It kills this, and it took a while to kill that, actually. I'm trying to use this on it. I believe I miss. No, I remember now. I see the M1 Abrams. And it's crazy, man. I mean, it really is. 30% ECM, so the chance of both of these hitting me is very low. He does hit me once. And because he's in an urban environment, the chance of him getting out. But anyway, remember the thing. Don't bomb in a straight line. Just it doesn't have to be like 45-degree angle. Just like even like 20 degrees, you're just going to get that much better impact. Actually, yeah, 20 degrees. That's my final answer. So, as you can see, we're just hilariously ahead on trades, and he's not a bad player. And the next thing is the smoke mortar. We're still trying to kill this. So we smoke here. If you're not bringing a smoke mortar for urban front lines, you're a moron. In general, smoke mortar's super good. Grenade launcher, grenade launcher, grenade launcher, get grenaded. And you just hit this, and then you just, you know, move this and move that. Or you can just forget about it for a bit. So he brings mortars. He starts using them for HE, which I was really quite surprised by. Like I said, he used to be really good, but I don't think he's been playing so much lately. Although this has never worked, so... I guess the idea is they're small teams, so I'll buy the mortar. Maybe he thought the RT rework had already happened. Who knows what that'll fix. We'll have to wait and see. And, you know, like one of these and one of these can lock down an area, put an Igloo with it. It's just so cheap, because this is 80 points. That locks down... This is infantry, this kills vehicles and helps win infantry fights. And then you buy one Igloo for 35, and like, look how cheaply I can hold this. It's really something. So we can finally see this guy. And yeah, like, I mean, it's just Jova. I mean, 8th has options, but that funny opener works really well against 8. So yeah, we'll just finish this off, but I mean, at this point it is over, right? He can't do anything. The 30mm stop all his infantry pushes, the healers kill anybody who gets close enough. Like, he's pushing with infantry and I'm just killing him. We cluster EW him and we kill a bunch of infantry. There's no point slowing down for it because, I mean, you'll see the KD is pretty one-sided and he's a good player. Like, look at that. But, like, look, he's not bad. He's rank 146 and he's had 2,600 games. It's just this division, since the bomber changes, is pretty silly. I do still think 8th's better. I mean, he played it a bit weirdly, but the funny opener, if it gets people, it gets people. So let's do the summary, shall we? So overall, 39Y. Pretty straightforward div to play. I wouldn't say it's particularly complicated. It currently benefits from these planes just being broken. They should be 20 points more each. And yeah, you don't have to have the EW plane. You can swap it out for 2 more T80 BVs. But as you can see from all of the examples, I was barely ever buying these, except in that Gel 2 Him game, which went super late, right? As you can see, I just wasn't buying them. So you don't really need that many of them. You want these at 1 vet so you can buy loads of them. Basically, general opener, the meme opener is one of these, and one of these. And as you saw, you just sweep people up. If they've got forward deployed AA, or if it's the week this video has come out into public access, if you're a channel member, people won't know about it yet. But otherwise, don't do this, right? Because in that week, because everybody will know. So what you do instead is you open with Res Vertigo Saperi, a couple of these on the flanks. Like, why is this 40 points? It's ridiculous. And yeah, like you can swap this out for Strela 10Ms or 2 Osas, and you can open with 2 vet Osas. I've seen that happen, it works. I just like this because it goes with this around the sides. While you play your slow mid game, you just send one of these and one of these around the sides and kill a bunch of stuff. Like, this literally carries 10 Conkers, it's so useful. It's way too cheap for what it is, really. Basically, it just shouldn't have good stealth. It should be mediocre stealth like it used to be. That would fix a lot of problems. Anyway. Yeah, just open with 2 of these. Right, and just play it slow. Whenever you're fighting with your infantry, make sure you've got a BTR 60PB or a BMP 1P helping out. Now, in some rare instances, you just won't be able to get a line of sight, and that's where these bombers come in. Right? Blanket bomber, very, very, very hard to shoot down. And you can send this out in front, and it practically makes this invincible. Yeah, buy these before you buy these. And that's all there is to it. So I'll just show you the deck. But the main challenge with this division is it is still just a worse 79Y. It doesn't matter how else you sell it. It is better to just play 79Y. So if you enjoyed this video, do fill out that poll so I can go for the one on the exact opposite end of the leaderboard. And you know, do check out the other guides. Do consider becoming a channel member if you don't want to do that. Please like the video. And yeah, have a lovely day.